Mike, it appeared to me that Bernie Morrison got the first contact on Joe Paopao at the bottom of your screen there. Oh, that's Wozniacki, 76, the left defensive end. He strips the football from Paopao, and Ed McElhenney gets the first big turnover of this ball game. First down, Calgary at the 26.
And the toss is to James Sykes. Sykes is inside the 20 to about the 19, hit by the middle linebacker, Glenn Jackson.
You know, you talk about that big turnover that the Calgary defense caused. They've done that 47 times this year. That's one of the reasons why they've been so successful.
In speaking with Vic Rapp last night, I thought he might tell me that Jerry Taggy was the most serious of all the injuries that they had had. But it's his feeling that Sam Britz is the loss that has hurt this team more than any other. Sam Britz, previously the middle linebacker. Glenn Jackson had to move from the outside into the middle to fill because of that injury. Flag comes down as Willie Burton gets to about the 15-yard line.
Well, I don't think there's any question.
First down.
I don't think there's any question. Nick Hebler, the young rookie from SFU for the BC Lions, jumps offside. Watch him, number 58. He goes, he tries to stop his commitment, and then he tries to get back just now, and then he goes right ahead with it.
Pretty good block by James Sykes to help Burton get through there.
Well, both of those guys complement each other very well, Mike, in terms of blocking. Sykes and Burton. They almost always lead block for the one that's carrying the football.
Just 2 minutes left to play in this opening quarter. The Stampeders hanging on to the football. They have a first down at the BC 14. This is Sykes again. Puts his head down and drives to the 10-yard line. Straightened up by Frank Oliver and Morehouse, number 44. So the gain is about 3.5. Let's make it 2nd and 7 right at the 10-yard line. 1-0 BC out in front. The Stampeders driving right now. And just as important, eating up the clock in the first quarter, that they have gone into the wind. Johnson to the end zone for Armstead, and it was no good. Let's go down to Bill Stevenson.
All right, the story on John Beaton is there's a little bit of concern. They have a strained right knee. Now he's walking around trying to run and stretch it to see how loose it is. I think he'll go back in, so does John when I talked to him. But the doctor said he is not sure if Beaton is going to come back or not. He'll just wait and see how that knee reacts. The official report, however, is a slight strain.
J.T. Hay will try the field goal. He was good on 21 of 32 for the season. This one will come from 17 yards out. It's up, and it is good. We come to the final minute of the opening quarter of play, and the Calgary Stampeders have jumped out in front 3-1.
Calgary Stampeders in the first quarter, much the better football club offensively. The BC Lions showing some strength in that department, Frank, but offensively, they've done absolutely nothing.
They haven't got a first down yet, Mike. As a matter of fact, I'm sure that they have a total of minus yardage so far in this football game. About 20 yards, Bob Lees tells us, our statistician. So they certainly are going to. Vic Rapp talked in the pregame show about coming up with a little more excitement in their offense, particularly on first down. They better start showing it pretty quickly.
They could use a big kickoff return, Patrick.
They've got the people that can do it. Leon the Neon is down there, Leon Bright.
They're all the way back to the 5-yard line. I think that's kind of ridiculous. I don't think there's any way that Hay can put it all the way down that end of the field against this breeze.
Larry Key has moved up to the 10 now, so is Bright.
Might be inclined to squib kick it, I would think, against this wind.
Fell off the kicking tee.
As a matter of fact, if I were the BC Lions, I'd have a couple of people up there looking for a short kick at this point in time.
Al Burleson is going to hold the ball for J.T. Hay. That's Key at the top of your screen and Bright at the bottom. Both can fly. And you're right, Mike, he does. He squibs it down the middle. Mark Houghton, number 70, picks up the ball for BC and returns it to about the 43-yard line. The 40-yard kickoff was returned only 8 yards, so the Lions will start at their 43.5-yard line with 55 seconds left to play in this opening quarter.
If you're going to face the pressure that Joe Paopao has, I'd start trying to establish that ground game and get those defensive people off of me.
Pow going deep for Terry Bailey, but he was knocked down. Good play by number 26, Merv Walker.
Boy, Pow really took a hit on the play. He's down on the field.
Here's another look at it, and Frank, again, he's trying to roll to get away from that pressure. And it came in late, but Lyle Wozniacki, just after he threw the ball, laid that heavy hit on him. But what I don't understand is, despite the wind advantage, why he continues to work against the real strength of the Calgary club, which is their secondary and their pass rush.
He won't be working against it any longer because Mike Knott is going to come into the ball game. Joe Pow is still stretched out on the field.
It appeared that he caught a helmet, Wozniacki's helmet, in his chest. And you know, so far, Wozniacki's been the dominant factor of that front four for the Calgary Stampeders. He caused the fumble by Pow on the last possession. And usually Woz is the last person you look for from the pass rush out of the front four of the Stamps. But he's done a great job so far today.
Well, on November the 17th, I'd like to remind everybody that they're going to see a rematch of a great fight of the August 28th Commonwealth Welterweight Championship fight between Clyde Gray and Chris Clark. Clark won that one, if you recall. Gray was unable to answer the 11th. He had some cuts, and that put him out. But this time, Gray's putting his Canadian welterweight title on the line. And the winner of this fight will be the Canadian and Commonwealth welterweight champion. So it should be a beauty. November the 17th, Clyde Gray and Chris Clark.
Mike Knott comes in to quarterback the BC Lions. He completed the longest pass of the season, 106 yards to Leon Bright. Into the 16th, so let's see what he can do. 2nd and 10, BC. Knott throws, and the rookie tight end, Ricky Ellis, could not make the grab.
But let me tell you, Mike Knott got the ball there. He also took a little punishment after releasing it, but he got the ball where it had to be.
It looks like he's having a little conversation with one of his offensive linemen there.
Knott has only thrown 27 passes this season. Completed 16 of them, however, for a 59% completion rate, which was top-notch.
Patty also completed an 87-yarder to Jim Young in the Saskatchewan game a couple of weeks ago that allowed Jimmy to tie for the second place in the all-time touchdown receptions in the CFL. So a couple of his touchdowns have been fairly long ones.
Pasaglia punting on 3rd and 10. Forzani at his 12-yard line on what will be the final play of the quarter. Forzani gets it out to about the 18, and a flag comes down late. Len Leonard was there to make the tackle after that 54-yard punt by Pasaglia and a 6-yard return by Tom Forzani. Let's listen for referee Blair Shallow's call.
Face mask, BC number 69. First down.
Well, you heard the call of face masking against John Blake. So everything going Calgary's way right now. We'll have one more play in this quarter because of the penalty. Joe Pow, who was injured, fumbled, and that enabled the Calgary Stampeders to get excellent field position and kick the field goal that has put the Stampeders out in front 3-1.
Here's another look at that punt return by Tom Forzani. We'll see if we can catch the face mask. Seemed to be just as they were falling.
Ball at the 32-yard line, first down, Calgary. James Sykes, and he cracks over the 35 to about the 37. He'll have a gain of about 6 as Frank Oliver once again was there to fill and make the tackle. We have come to the end of the first quarter. The Calgary Stampeders out in front 3-1. This is the CFL on CTV. We'll have second quarter action in a moment.
Watch me slide. Watch me glide. Watch the show. Here I go.
to start quarter number 2. It is 2nd and 5. Stampeders from their 37-yard line. They lead it 3-1. Johnson for Bob Vickers, who makes the catch and has the first down. Out about the 48 or 49-yard line, forced out of bounds by Ken Hinton, number 18, a 12-yard gain.
Is that he's a very disappointed young man. You can see him going along there. That knee was racked up again, and it is now a little worse than it was before. They're not sure if he's going to be able to get back in action or not. And earlier, when you saw the injury to Joe Pow, it was nothing serious. Fortunately, it was just the wind knocked out of him. Maybe a slight chest bruise at the same time, but he's going to be all right.
First time in this ball game, they get a little rush from their front four. Richard Murray that time. We'll have to get back to live action, though. He got a piece of Ken Jackson.
First down, Calgary from their 48-yard line. Johnson fires right into a crowd and makes the completion down to the 45-yard line. Kelvin Kirk makes the catch for another big first down, good for 16 yards. And again, Ken Hinton was there to make the tackle.
You know, I thought Ken Hinton might have had an opportunity to step in front for an interception. I'd be happy to see it again. Hinton, number 18, couldn't quite get in front. Good pattern by the receiver to come back into the ball and protect the ball from the defenders.
Well, you see those first quarter statistics. 66 total yards for Calgary, minus 20 for the BC Lions as the Stampeders continue to drive. First down at the BC 45. Johnson throws. The catch is made once again by Bob Vickers at about the 35. If they give him the 35, it should be a first down, but let's wait and see.
It looks pretty obvious that with the win strategy of the Calgary Stampeders is to throw the ball short. Three straight completions, 2 to Vickers now and 1 to Kelvin Kirk. They moved down to the BC Lion 35-yard line. There'll be a measurement now.
Stampeders putting on an impressive performance so far in this ball game. Played very well defensively, as they had to in that first quarter, going into the wind, and now they've got the wind at their back, and as you can see, they have a second down and just inches to go for the first down.
Stampeders, surprisingly, not a great rushing team, although they have James Sykes and Willie Burden. This is one of their better efforts going through the air, Frank, that I've seen in some time.
Talk about Willie Burden and James Sykes. Sykes gained 699 yards rushing, Burden 662. It's 2nd and inches for the first down at the BC 35. And they're going to go for it. Wide open was Kelvin Kirk. And Kirk fights his way into the 3-yard line. There is a flag down on the field. Holding is the call against the Stampeders. 31 yards the gain. It will be wiped out, and a 10-yard penalty will be tacked on. Boy, what a big play that was, because it was 2nd and inches.
Boy, and was he ever wide open. There wasn't anybody within 10 yards of him, Mike.
Holding against Calgary. 2nd down repeated.
Armstead had cleared that area and had left Kirk wide open as he just held in that intermediate area. Burden also had flooded the same side. Here's a look at Kirk in isolation. You can see nobody around him. But of course, the key to the success of this passing game has been the time allowed Ken Johnson. Obviously, therefore, the holding penalty critical of that success, and it's being brought back. A different view.
That holding, that'll always give you a little more time to throw it.
It is 2nd and 10 to go now for the Stampeders from the BC 45. No time this time for Ken Johnson. He's sacked back at midfield. The big pressure from Louis Richardson, number 77.
I'll tell you, though, Pat, they brought everybody that time, and that's what I mentioned to you, Mike, before. I thought they would have to continue to bring people. You'll see linebackers coming from all sides, and if we start that up right now, you'll see even Ford, number 16. Stop it right there. Here's a safety blitz coming. Number 16, Devin Ford, in the middle of that pile. They just had more people than Calgary had blockers.
So a critical holding penalty, and then the big defensive play by Louis Richardson, and Mike McTagg is punting. And he shanks this one, puts it high in the air. Fortunately for the Lions, the fumble punt by Ford rolls out of bounds at about the 3-yard line.
Oh, that's a costly one, though. They're going to be back to their 3-yard line. He would have been able to advance that ball at least up to the 10 or 15. So they'll start from their own 3 with 12:07 remaining in this first half. The Stampeders lead 3-1.
Talked about the BC specialty teams. That's what they were counting on and what they have counted on so many times, Pat. You know, in kickoffs and punt returns, they've amassed over 2,800 yards. That's 1/3 more than the Calgary Stampeders, who have just over 2,100.
Well, you talk about a shank punt, not too bad because it ends up on the 3-yard line.
That's better than a good one.
Absolutely. Not with the toss to Larry Key, and he's there right at the goal line. Ed McElhenney, number 64, there to make the tackle.
Well, the Lions pull everybody on this play, even the offensive center, Al Wilson, number 52. The whole left side pulls. Leon Hard, number 54, tries to screen him off, but McElhenney does a great job of coming from the backside. BC is down to their 1-yard line. They're in a lot of trouble right now.
And you know, even a quick kick, if they had it, wouldn't be a very good play here because of going into the wind. You couldn't really gain too much from it.
I don't think it'd fool anybody anyway because they don't have anybody can kick it except Luke Visaglia, and he never plays offensively.
We've played 4 minutes of this second quarter. 3-1. Calgary leads it. BC with a big problem at their 1-yard line. 2nd and 12 to go to the first down. Now throws the screen to Larry Key. What a job by Key to get to the 10-yard line. He'll be short of the first down, but he did a tremendous job to pick up that yardage. It is 3-1, Calgary out in front, and we'll be back in a moment.
Sound is a living thing. It colors the beauty and mystery of our existence. Now, with techniques, every nuance of the experience and performance of sound can be reproduced with the utmost fidelity. Techniques High Fidelity keeps sound a living thing. Techniques.
Cutting out, I'm moving out of here. I paid my dues. Cutting out for some good times. Our good old dogs are near. Gonna spend some time my way. I'm really glad I'm here.
Canada's great taste in ale. What a beer to share.
Me and the boys are now 50. Me and the boys and our beer.
Another look at that little screen that got the BC Lions out of a little trouble. Key with tremendous determination. Odoms had come up to try to seal it off, and a good block that allowed Key to get out to the 10.
Louis Pasaglia punting for BC.
That's an excellent punt against the wind.
Excellent is right to, well, the 54-yard line. The leading punter in the CFL with an average of 47.3 yards on the season does it again for the Lions as he boots it 44 yards with no return.
You're absolutely correct. Net 44 yards. That's a super kick.
Let's see if the Lions come with those linebackers, Frank. I think you've been most accurate in your assessment. It's the only time they've had success when the Stamps have gone to the air.
Burden is 10, Sykes is 11. The toss comes to Sykes. And he gets outside to about the 44-yard line.
That's a perfect counteract to the blitz, as you know, Mike, is to get to the outside, get those linebackers coming in there with the great penetration, caught up inside. You saw them being able to get around Girardi on the play, and they picked up 8 yards. Now they've got another linebacker hurt, and I think it is Paul Girardi down on the field. They're going to run out of bodies in that front 7 pretty soon.
We talked about the fact that the Stampeders were not a club to try to get to the outside. Jack Goda, obviously recognizing this, decided to come up with a little new wrinkle for these playoffs, and they've had some success when they've gone with that quick pitch.
That's the injured Paul Girardi.
Girardi's just behind the ball carrier, you'll see. I think he hits his own man. Ben Jackson also getting a piece of Sykes.
Cold weather often results in a lot of injuries, Frank. Bruises and pulls and one thing or another. You're just not warmed up to the same extent as you are in the milder months of July and August.
Let's go down to Al McCann.
Well, Pat, I was very close to the point when Paul Girardi went down, and Bill Rochelle, the trainer of the Lions, instantly looked at that knee, the right knee of Girardi's, and the way it's going, you put it right a minute ago, Frank did, that they're running out of bodies. BC getting no breaks at all. They keep going down with injuries. Calgary so far on this side of the field, not a single hint of an injury.
Well, Doug Seymour has come into the ball game. Let's see where he lines up. Generally speaking, he's a defensive lineman, but with Girardi out of there, they don't have another linebacker left because John Beaton went down earlier in the ball game. Now Girardi is out.
Seymour has been pressed into the linebacking service before, Pat, but it's been last year since he's played that position.
2nd and 2 for the Stampeders at the BC 45.5. The give is to Sykes, who gets outside. And Sykes has a first down into the BC 34-yard line, forced out by Doug Carlson, 28.
The Lions have moved into what it appeared to me to be almost a 52 defense, Frank, but they didn't get the containment from their inside safety, and Sykes has that very quick acceleration to the outside. If he is an opening, he'll take it.
Good move at the line of scrimmage by Sykes, just slipping more or less to the outside, picking up the first down easily.
We've got 9 minutes, 25 seconds left to play in this first half. Calgary leading 3-1 and threatening once again with a first down at the BC 34-yard line. Johnson fires. The catch is made by Calvin Kirk. Another first down into the 18-yard line. Joe Forqueen, number 14, there to wrap him up, but not before the 17-yard gain.
Just look at the excellent protection that the Calgary Stampeder offensive line does. There's basically only 3 people coming here. Louis Richardson doesn't get any penetration at all from the left defensive end spot. Look at what great protection that is by the Stampeder offense.
No secondary can protect for that long.
BC Lions don't have a first down in the ball game. Calgary's moved up and down the field. Johnson throws. The catch is made by Armstead. He'll have another first down in around the 7-yard line. Number 16, Devon Ford, was there to make the tackle.
A couple of times you've seen the coverage has been right on the receivers, but Johnson has been excellent in his accuracy. He's put the ball right into the receiver's hands. Here again, you'll see Ford in coverage on Armstead. He's right with him. The ball extremely well thrown. The receiver concentrating on the reception and being able to hold on.
Mike, you're absolutely right. You can't really blame the defensive backs for those completions. They brought Glenn Jackson from that little middle linebacking spot that time, too. Stampeders are just protecting their quarterback very, very well.
10 first downs for Calgary, none for BC. First and touchdown to go as the toss comes to Sykes. Sykes gets to about the 3-yard line. Glenn Jackson, who has played very well for the Lions this afternoon, as he has all season, was there to make the tackle.
Just extremely good pursuit by Jackson coming from that middle linebacking spot, but he shouldn't have to make the tackle that wide.
The story on Paul Girardi is bad. It's the medial ligament, according to Dr. Bill Thompson, the BC Lion doctor. He's afraid it may be torn. He's not sure, but Girardi will not be back in the ball game this afternoon. So the Lions are running out of linebackers, as you have stated. All right, Pat.
Rob Forbes, number 6, comes into that Calgary backfield on second and touchdown to go. Give is to Sykes, and he could not get outside because Joe Forqueen closed it down.
I'll tell you, what a gutty defense.
I'll tell you, one part of the key to that play is watch Willie Burton as he goes up, tries to help Fairbanks at the right tackle position, put a block on the BC Lions. They stack it up right there, Louis Richardson, and then Glenn Jackson forcing Jim Sykes to the outside where Joe Forqueen does the rest of the job. Good defense.
Terrific, because it's not just Forqueen. Obviously, with his containment, that's so vital. But you see Jackson and those others coming from the inside to fill. There was no place for Sykes to go.
I think Jackson's comments prior to the football game were very appropriate. The defense really shouldn't be blamed in circumstances like that.
J.T. Hay puts it up. And it is no good. They'll get a single point out of it, but they do not get the field goal. So the BC Lions come up tough in their own end. The Calgary Stampeders lead at 4-1, and we'll be back in a moment.
For generations in the tropics, they have known of the naturally soothing qualities of the coconut. Now Foamy introduces new tropical coconut shave cream, soothing and softening with the light, fresh smell of coconut. New Foamy tropical coconut shave cream is so different from what you're using now, you may never want to go back. New Foamy tropical coconut shave cream from Gillette.